Yes, the big man is there. The Minister of Finance, Minister of Finance there, Matia Kasaija, has stepped out of his vehicle. That is UG20 with a couple of zeros, one. I like the number plates. I don't know when I'm going to get one like that one and put on my vehicle. I love the number plates. That is the minister. He has arrived. He has gone, as usual, he has gone through the security check. Yeah, and let's see what next. This is at Kololo. Kololo, where the main event is starting, the budget, the main event is starting a little bit after 2 p.m. Most of the dignitaries, the invited guests, all arriving, and if the ministers arrive, that means most of the people, in fact, the invited guests should be seated. It's a presidential event. That means definitely there's a lot of security checks. For those ones who are out there and they think they'll just access Kololo that way, probably you should be thinking of how you're going to get there at this time, because you can see the ministers arrived, and if the minister is the main man, because he's the one who's going to issue the statement, he's going to read the budget later on today, and definitely the president will also have his statement, and that one, of course, we had the State of the Nation address last week. So it all comes into that. There's a way all these connect. And we get back to the studio, and I'm here with Kathy. We're still talking issues of the budget. Yeah.
Yes. So I was still talking about the tax revenue.
Yeah.
For this current year, during our half-year review of our budget, about 876 billion fell short of our target, media target, half-year target. So, what could make the government think that by increasing the revenue, they would raise if the 29 has failed? Yet I believe it's more or less than the 30 what? The 32 they anticipate to get. What would make them?
I think from what the way you've phrased it, is as if you need an answer. I don't know if I can give you that answer.
Yeah, of
answer,
course,
because
those are all
personally,
questions.
I also understand, a budget, and at 72 trillion, there are those ones who say, Dennis, I think I've been interacting with people. They tell you, and we bite chewing more than what we can swallow, really. Aren't we setting very ambitious targets, And then, of course, there are very many issues that are coming out depending on exactly how the cake has been shared. There are those ones, there are ministries. For example, last evening, I had interacted with the Minister of Energy, that is Dr. Ruth Nankabirwa, and we are having a conversation regarding what does she feel, because I think personally, as an extractive industries journalist, an area that I've really honed my skills, and I get to know how the government also, we have targets as a country in terms of, we have the Vision 2040, we have also we have ambitions of becoming a middle income economy. I think all that translates to how we're going to manage our finances, and where are we getting these monies from, and and also where are we investing this money? How do we prioritize our investment? Because the fact is this: if we don't get just like any other budget, even the house budget, if you don't get your priorities right, definitely the next day you might even have issues in the house. Just like you've seen often, we go back for what we call it, supplementary budget.
Yes, supplementary budget.
And I think we even go to understand, there's a time we're asking ourselves, really, personally, as a business journalist, wow, there it is. There it is. And there it is. The case is there. The minister is actually asking for directions. Where should I pass? That is Matia Kasaija. They are walking, is majestically showing you the national budget for this, of course, for the next financial year, that is 2024, 2025. As usual, it's a photo op, and yes, that is it. Welcome, Mark.
Thank you.
Joined by a colleague at the business desk, and definitely we'll be having a conversation with Catherine all the way until later on when we'll link up with our colleagues there. We do have our live team that is already on ground that will also be relaying to us what is transpiring there. That we can see the minister is excited, he's happy. But Mark, from your assessment, you've been following up on the issues of the budget. What do you have to say? Okay. Wait, let me first of all see. Let's. That is the minister. Is accompanied by the finance minister, general duties, state minister for finance, general duties. We can see there our state minister for investment. Oh yeah, the entire team is there. We can see Minister Lugorobi as well. And Matia Kasaija, all smiles, all the time we've covered him, all the time we've had him on the budget. He has this perfect smile. Things are okay, even if we Ugandans were crying that we are a little bit constrained. I don't think that is for him. He's always all smiles, talks about it like things are really, really fine. Mark, say something.
Well, I must say that the national budget is, it came as a shock to many people to be stretched out to 72 trillion, down from 52. And I think government was justified. The fact that we had a lot of issues pending, especially our debt soaring up, we decided to prioritize debt repayment in our budget. Actually, if you notice, almost half of our budget is being dedicated to paying debt, which is a good practice to want to pay your debt, but at what cost does it leave, you know, your current expenditures? You know, you have over 12 programs that you want to fund, but what resources are you allocating to them, if half of your budget is going to pay debt? So that means, one, the Ugandan is highly indebted, not just the country. Each and every Ugandan is highly indebted, one way or another. But for me, this puts my attention more to how we are collecting revenue. I feel like the fact that URA has not managed to make its mark most of the previous, but I think successfully the most recent 3 financial years, URA has been struggling to meet the mark. The target, yeah. I feel like you cannot solve a problem by doing the same thing repetitively. There needs to be more innovative ways of revenue collection to widen the tax base, especially. Yes, I've had a number of people on ground say, why aren't we taxing the agricultural sector? And yet it's turning over quite a number of, you know, of money
I
for,
had a
for
story
its farmers.
I actually was somewhere this morning and someone hinted on that, why we should tax cows.
Why we should tax cows. Yeah, so I feel like at the bottom of it all, we are spending more than we are earning, which is not realistic. I think that is not an optimum way, that's not an efficient way to run an economy. You cannot spend more than you earn, okay? Even as a family, when a family starts to spend more than it earns, in a very, very, very short period of time, you start to have problems, you know? You now start to borrow more. So, yes, but the national budget